We're going to go directly now to our public testimony because we know people have to leave. So we have one person signed up. I checked the system. I don't see anyone electronically. So Lori Ford, come on up. It's good to see you again. As I recall, you were involved in our missing children meetings years ago. So good to see you again. Please introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you, Senator Farnsworth. For the record, my name is Lori Ford, and I am head of the AZ DCS Oversight Group. We are a group of citizens, parents, grandparents, foster parents, guardians, and Senator Farnsworth, it's nice to see you at the helm today. I don't know if I have a time limit on this. I have a lot to say, but if I do have a time limit, I will shrink it down.
How about 10 minutes?
Wonderful, thank you so much. I want to start off with the keep them well. Parents are afraid to take their children into hospitals, and especially into Phoenix Children's Hospital. And that is due to a very lucrative contract that DCS has with Phoenix Children's Hospital. So that's a financial incentive for the hospital and for DCS. So parents are very reluctant to take their children into Phoenix Children's Hospital. They are trying to avoid that place at every move. But when there's a situation where a child is taken to another doctor and that doctor refers them to Phoenix Children's Hospital, they are stuck there. As an advocate for parents, it's heart-wrenching when you have good parents who take their children in to get health care, and DCS is called upon them, and they leave without their child. There's also I don't know what you would call it. It's, I'm going to say fraud. I'm going to put the F word out there for you all. Parents whose children are under custody of DCS are receiving bills. Their insurance company has paid these bills for the children's care if they are taken into a doctor. But yet, children under DCS custody are on access. So there's a question of why is this double billing going on? And this is just, these are things that I know and that other members of the group know because we talk to parents and we are involved with the parents. So to piggyback on what Senator Wadsack has said, there needs to be a citizen panel that works with the legislatures and with DCS for these parents. I'm an advocate for parents. Get calls at all different hours. The parents call us usually after they've been entwined with DCS. The parents that have called immediately and we show up at their home, DCS backs down a little bit and say, you know, well, we don't need to remove the child right now. You know, whereas before it was a threat to these parents, you know, you sign this, you do this, or we will take your children. You know, but once an advocate gets there an advocate that knows the tactics of DCS and can point out some things, DCS lays off on these situations. Court watchers, we do court watching. Judges have, like, you know, they act different when we are in that courtroom. DCS in the Attorney General's office, you know, they would like us not to be in there. But it's important that parents who sit there and have gone through this trauma and are sitting in these courtrooms, and most of the time it's by themselves, because they've met that attorney 5 minutes before court starts. Now, just to expound on that, as far as, you know, us helping parents have gag orders put on them. So, you know, say I'm going to vet a parent before I go all out to help this parent. I'm going to vet this parent. We don't help bad parents. And bad parents are very, very, very few and far between for us.
Laura, you have 5 minutes left.
Okay.
That's half your time.
So, you know, we want to see the paperwork. We want to see this. And the parents are like, I can't show you anything. I'm going to get in trouble. DCS, I can't. So there's just all these fears hanging over their heads. So while you're thinking about, you know, maybe getting this citizen panel together, I would be more than happy to be on it. I've had years and years and years of experience with all of this, and have been to the judges' meetings and the legislature, and putting bills forward. Just know that the parents are restricted on what they can share, and most of them are so scared that they're not going to share that information with us. Another thing that I would like to talk about is the TANF funds, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. That should go to those needy families. I don't know why an agency that's, you know, has $1 billion+ budget is getting those funds. Those funds could bring some of these, you know, people just out of the rut that they're in, and could avoid DCS even being involved in their lives. Which brings me to another topic of the different organizations that DCS works with, the giving organizations, and even some of the churches. I've had parents whose children were taken away because DCS deemed their living conditions, their bedding, their beds were not, you know, sufficient, and given to a foster family who was then given beds, bedroom set, mattress to that foster family. It should have went to that family. It's just a turnaround. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to us. That part does not make sense to us. And as far as any of the abuse, I've had parents have their children taken away for claims of abuse, parental rights terminated based on the claims of abuse. Never really proven, because the parents were never lawfully, legally charged with abuse. I've had parents say, I wish I was charged with abuse so I could go into a criminal court where I'm innocent until proven guilty, instead of guilty and with never a chance to be proven innocent in the DCS courts. So it would be really interesting if DCS had some type of a comparison of How many children are removed from on abuse? How many of those parents have been criminally charged with abuse? If those two things don't add up, something's going on. I just want you all to know that I believe Chairman Farnsworth probably still has my contact information, and I would be more than happy to be involved. I, too, am passionate about this topic and have been involved with this for, well, since 2017, in the ruts, in the trenches since 2017. And just want you to know that I did introduce myself to Director Lujan and thanked him for the changes that he is making. But, you know, I also said we're going to be keeping track. We're not going to be slacking off just because we have a new director. So thank you very much.
Any questions for Lori?
One comment.
Please.
Just on something that you mentioned that I think might be worth exploring for a different time and discussion is the TANF funds and,
Yes.
and the points on prevention, knowing that DCS is not a prevention, as you mentioned. So I think that there's more we could explore there in conversation. So thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That caught my ear also. And thank you for being here. And I just checked to my phone. I do not have your contact information. So if you would hang around,
I sure will. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here, Lori. Really appreciate it. And thank you for being
Apologies,
here.
Mr. Chair.